I think luck plays an important role in the interview. Like as I've said earlier, the questions asked were based on DP. All my questions were based on DP. So what happened was a funny incident. What happened was when I, Shashank, and Subro went to ICPC, we were stuck on in December. We were stuck on a question which was based on DP.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Swastik. He's also my junior from college, and Swastik and Suro were really helpful in the beginning stages of our coding club, like starting from making posters to handling social media. So everything we guys started slowly, and later we added some great team. And today he's here with us to share his interview experience with Code Nation. Hi Swastik.
Hi, Shashank. I had my coordination interview before that, like how coordination hires. Like coordination hires by Republic Day challenge, which is held in January, and Codagon, which is held in October, and it also hires using CCD SAP, like CodeChef certification advanced level. So if you are a CCD SAP qualified, you can directly go to R0 of the interviews, and if not, like you can give a Republic Day challenge or the Codagon. And if you have like got a under 200 rank in those challenges, you will get a call for the R0 of the interview. And if you are a CCD sub qualified, you will sometimes get a mail like Coordination is hiring CCD sub qualified people, and you will have to fill a Google form there, and then you will get a call from the HR for the
Yeah, I think
interview.
CCD SAP advanced or expert, right? Foundation
Yeah,
is not.
yeah, foundation like advanced or expert. So
Right.
expert is above advanced, and like only a few people in India are expert qualified. So
Yeah.
yeah, so and like for on-campus peeps, it would be different. I guess there will be an online test, like which will be similar to Codegon, but like difficulty level will be a bit easier. Like if the questions in Codegon are like code force is 1800, 1900, then for on-campus one, the questions will be around code force is 1600, 1700.
Mhm.
So after that, there will be a R0, which will be a telephonic round. Like you will not go into a Zoom or Google Meet call. The interviewer will call you, and he'll ask you or about the your resume and your projects and your internships. So I told about a project which I did as a minor project, and I also told about my previous internship at Tribes.ai, which apparently I also got through
Yeah.
CCDSAP. So,
Right.
so like CCDSAP is like if you can clear it, it will help you a lot in getting those internships and all.
Yeah. So
So
usually getting opportunity in such good companies is very rare. But like
yeah,
being from a kind of college, we were like it was very rare to get such opportunities. CCD SAP really helped us in that case.
yeah. So I told about my internship experience at Tribes.ai, and I told about the projects, and I explained the project. It was based on data structures and algorithms. So that was also like because they only hire such like coders. So my project being on data structures and algorithm, I think helped a bit. After clearing R0, after 1 or 2 days, I received a call from HR that she'll be scheduling the next round R1 in 2 3 days. So it was held in the month of April, and it was a 45 minutes round, and the questions were based on like they were two coding questions, and the level was between like one question you can say it like the level is 1600 code forces, and other one is 1700 of code forces. So I was given 45 minutes of time to solve both of the questions. So the first question was based on DP, like we needed to calculate the number of subsets based on some division and multiplication rule. I wrote an iterative solution for it, and like I did it in like 10, 20, 10 to 15 minutes. So I had a lot of time left for the second question. So and there were like the interviewers are also helpful. So like when I wrote the solution, I was missing an edge case for this. So he said that can you think for 2-3 minutes and think about an edge case. So I there were two edge cases, so I arrived at one of the edge cases, and he gave a hint for the other edge cases. So like after like giving the hint, I arrived at the second edge case also and wrote the solution. And for the second question, it was based on DP on trees. Uh, and like it can be like you can classify it as a 1700 to 1800 rated question on code forces. Like the question, I don't remember the question exactly, but like the question was, we have some signal at a root, and there is some rule for the distribution of signal to its children. What will be the optimal strategies so that the time will be minimized to distribute the signal based on that rule. So uh, uh, I had done like some DP on trees question previously, like 10 to 15 DP on trees question previously. So I arrived at a question, I arrived at the solution very quickly, and I wrote the solution. And before arriving to the solution, I was going in the wrong direction. I understood the rule wrong, like how the signal get distributed. So I was arriving at a wrong solution. So the interviewer said that like you haven't understood the question properly, like, and this will fail in this scenario. So he helped a bit because I was trying, and after understanding the question fully, I uh, I wrote the solution, and it like he was happy with the solution. So under I think 40 or 35 minutes, the whole interview got completed. After the interview, I was pretty happy that like both I solved both of the questions and I arrived at the optimal solution. So I knew that the next round will be based on system design. So I didn't know much of system design before that. So I started watching YouTube videos on on system design, and I started designing systems. Like I called a friend, like he has it in the Subro, and like he was also there with me in the interview process. So we both started designing Uber. We designed Uber, and we designed many things on the call. So I studied system design for 1 to 2 weeks, I guess, and then interview called me that I'll have my R2 uh, in 2 or 3 days. So she scheduled the interview, and in the interview, the interviewer was a VP. So like usually the R2 will be either taken by a VP or by the CEO of the company. And they first asked me about my experience at the previous internship. I told them about the experience, and they then asked me some questions on how do I select a database for a given scenario. So there's something called CAP theorem for in system design for database selection. So I gave my answer and reasoning based on that. And after that was done, he asked me to design a system for a contest which solves Rubik's cube, and we have to determine if the solution is correct or not, and we'll have to design a whole system for that. So I proposed a design, and he was happy with it. So the interview got over, and after like 5 to 10 minutes, I received a call from the HR that I got selected for the internship. So, so the most important round and the round which holds the most weightage is the R1, which is based on DSA. Like if you are good in coding, you'll clear that round, and you'll study. Like I didn't know much of system design back then, and I just studied before the interview and passed it. So the DSA round, I guess, is the most important one. And
Yeah,
like,
and that even they wouldn't be expecting very high level knowledge in system design as we are
yeah,
freshers.
yeah, they won't be expecting very high. Like they expect basic level of knowledge. Like And like if you are good in operating system data and data structure algorithm and DBMS, like you can design a system based on that knowledge, like the
Right.
DBMS, OS, and DSA, and also like if they won't ask LLD, so OOPS is not needed. But maybe if they ask like if you provide LLD with OOPS, it will also help.
Got it. I think we can move on to some basic Q&A section now. So first very common question is, does CGPA matter for coordination?
No, in coordination, CGPA doesn't matter. Like, I don't think it matters in, like, I currently work at Google, and in Google also CGPA, I don't think it matters.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
So
question, yeah,
how was the question difficulty compared to online round? Like generally, it will be like
yeah.
maybe easier, but in coordination also, is it like that?
No. Like in coordination, the questions are of similar difficulty as compared to online round,
Hmm.
because like like the question difficulty is approximately 1700 1800 rated questions on code forces, and in online
Hmm.
round also it will be around that region, maybe some 90, a little bit easier. In online round they can ask like 2000 rated questions, but in uh, interviews mostly it will be 1800 or 1900.
So regarding competitive programming and practicing standard DSA on lead code or GIS or GIS, so with respect to coordination, which is more better for preparation?
So I didn't do any, like before my coordination interview, I solved I think one or two questions on LeetCode. I only did competitive programming,
Hmm.
and I think for coordination, doing competitive programming will be more helpful than doing standard DSA question, because as we have seen, like they don't ask standard question, they ask like difficult question.
Right.
And so if the more questions you practice on competitive programming, the more chances you have of clearing the interviews instead of the standard lead code questions.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions before the interview for online round?
Yeah, for online round, like the suggestion is to like practice a lot of questions. Like what I used to do was I used to go to Codeforce's problem set, and then I used to select a rating of 1500 to 2000, and then I used to solve question in a row. If it is not solved, I used to solve that question. And uh, if like I used to try the question for 50, like 45 minutes. If I would have arrived at a solution, I would have written it. And if I would have not arrived at a solution, then I used to go to the editorial, look at the first two, three lines of the solution, and see if I am getting any clues from those one, two lines. Because and if I'm arriving at a solution from one those two, three lines, I will try to write a solution in next 45 minutes and think about it. And if I'm not, then after the those next 45 minutes I used to solve the question. I used to look at the editorial and solve the question. So like this will help, because when you are arriving, like in interviews also, you will try to arrive at a solution. Then, if you are not able to arrive at a correct solution, the interviewer will give you a hint.
Hmm.
So, this is similar to looking at the first two lines of the editorial.
Hmm.
So, like
Yeah.
getting
So,
some idea about the question and writing it like becomes easy.
yeah, and sometimes what happens, even if we directly look at the editorial, we won't be understanding how it is going to work. But if we
Yeah,
just see the first two lines just to get the direction of thought, and we spend some time to solve by ourselves, and then
yeah,
we see the editorial, it will make much more sense.
yeah. Because like understand, like when you understand the problem and give it time to think, like you will understand. Like it happened to me many times. Like when I was stuck at something, I used to go to Codeforces and write a like question or blog about it, like how it will get solved. And like when I was framing that question, I would have arrived, understood it, and I
Uh,
would have cleared it. Like I
correct.
wouldn't have posted it.
Right.
So understanding it properly helps a lot. So pro tip is like when you are not understanding something properly, ask interviewer, like in my R1, I asked him a lot of questions also, like what are the constraints? Like you can ask what are the constraints. So if the constraints are 10 to the power 18, then you know that like it will be O of 1 or O of log n solution you'll need to think of. So ask interviewer a lot of questions until you have understood the question fully. And in the second question, I thought I had understood the question after asking some questions, but I did. So interviewer cleared my some of my doubts. So one pro tip is ask interviewer a lot of questions. And when you code, try to talk and code so that interviewer will also understand that what are you thinking and are you going in the correct direction. If you are just writing the code silently, interviewer would not understand what are you thinking, and if you are going in the wrong direction, he will not be able to help you.
Right.
So these are some tips for the online round and the interview.
And what do you suggest for a preparation strategy in the last few days or 1 week is left then?
In the last few days or 1 week, you can go through previous interview experiences and try to solve those questions. And if not, you can simply practice 16 to 1800 rated questions on Code Forces. Like try to practice 2-3 questions a day so that you will get you will have some practice before the interview.
Okay.
And also like try to write some clean code and before the interview, like in competitive programming we take variable like a b c d. In the interviews we code on a Google Doc, and we need to take proper the variable name because it will not get compiled. It will be read by the interviewer and he'll try to understand if we have written the correct solution or not. So keep in mind that you are giving the correct indentation. Try to practice those things also. You are giving the correct variable name. You are following a one casing, either Pascal or Camel, and you are sticking to it. So those things will also help before the interview.
Right. And any other suggestion for during interview? Like, does it have to be flawless or how?
No, it doesn't have to be flawless. Like as I said, I understood the second question wrong and like was going in the wrong direction. So as long as the interviewers knows that you are trying to arrive at a solution and you have arrived at a solution at the end, I don't think it has to be flawless. You can take hints from the interviewer sometime, and you can you can tell him what you have understood. You might have understood it wrong, and like sometimes it is not always in our control that it is going to be flawless. Like sometimes the power can go off like at the time of the interview. Like yeah, it happened to me in some other interview that the internet went off during the interview. So I had to connect to the mobile data and had to switch off the camera for the interview. Not in the coordination interview, but like it doesn't have to be flawless. But the interviewer should understand that you are trying to understand the solution, you are trying to understand the problem, and you are arriving at the solution which is optimal.
Yeah. So whenever there's a hiccup, instead of panicking, we should try to do best in the rest of the
Yeah,
interview.
yeah. So like in that interview when the power went off, I said that I joined with the mobile data and said that I don't have the proper internet connection now. So the interviewer said that that's not a problem. You can switch off the camera, and if still there is a problem, we can talk on the phone also. So like the interviewers are also helpful when something comes up, and if you are going in the wrong direction, interviewer will give us hints. So like they are also trying to help us. They are not like our enemy or something who is like trying to destroy us in the interview.
Right.
So
And also there is always some role of luck, right? Like most usually
yeah,
that is the case, that interviewers are good and they want to hire you. Sometimes they might have been a bad day or is stressed out, and your
yeah,
internet power issue something will be there. So do you want to highlight upon
yeah,
role of luck?
yeah. I think luck plays an important role in the interview. Like as I've said earlier, the questions asked were based on DP. All my questions were based on DP. So what happened was a funny incident. What happened was when I, Shashank, and Subro went to ICPC, we were stuck on in December. We were stuck on a question which was based on DP, and like we wasted a lot of time on that question. And what happened was like I was really disappointed after ICPC. Like we could have, if we would have solved that question properly, we could have gotten a very good rank instead of getting that rank. So what I did was I practiced a lot of DP from January till March, and all my questions were luckily based on DP. So that helped a lot. Like uh, if if we didn't had that problem in ICPC, I wouldn't have practiced DP that much, and I would have might have failed these interviews.
Right. In fact, I remember that was the third question, I think, and you were able
Yeah,
to solve
we
the
did
even harder fourth problem you were able to solve,
fourth.
but you
Yeah,
were stuck
yeah,
in third forever.
we were stuck in third for we were able to solve the fourth question. We arrived at a solution for fifth one also. Like we thought of a solution, but the time wasn't
Yeah.
there. But
In fact, our
yeah,
luck was tested so much that day. I remember for every practice contest before that, first question you solve quickly with Python every time, but on that day,
yeah,
first question you screwed up.
yeah,
On that day,
yeah,
I think the
yeah,
question was such that because of Python, right, we usually assume some good amount of
yeah,
precision, but that
yeah,
gave up that day.
yeah. It failed because due to some precision loss in a floating point. Yeah,
Correct. But usually in Python, we assume that will be good enough.
yeah,
But I think
yeah.
question was set, test cases are such that it wouldn't work. So we
Yeah,
had to
like
make some
we
changes.
wrote the solution in within like in 40 to 50 seconds and submitted it,
Right.
and like we got the wrong answer.
Yeah, like in every practice contest, Swastik used to like quickly finish the first question in 1 minute. We used to look at the second, third. But that day again, our luck was tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like things can happen. Like
Mm.
ICBC like was the most important contest for us, and like in the regional round, think our luck didn't favor us. So like don't get disheartened by the luck. There are still many chances, and like you learn something from those experiences. Like when if a question comes now which requires precision, so I'll keep in mind that what happened that day,
Definitely.
and yeah.
Mm.
So if you screw up the interviews, it doesn't matter. The thing that matters is like what you the what you learn from the things you screwed,
Mm.
and you not try not to repeat it and like, learn things from it.
Got it. So, do you have any suggestions for mindset during interview, like how to be confident or overcoming nervousness?
Yeah. So like approach the interview as you approach a contest,
Mm.
because what if you approach it differently, like you then like I have solved a lot of contests and you would have solved a lot of them too. So you have practice of the contests.
Mm.
Approach the interviews as it is a contest. You need to solve as much questions as possible in as less time as possible.
Mm.
So if you approach an interview differently, like I have done a lot of contests, but this is an interview I'm first time giving it, and if you are scared before the interviews, then even if you know the solution, you wouldn't be able to arrive at it because you are nervous. So approach the interview like it is a contest. If the rating drops, I'll give another contest and increase my rating. So if I'm not able to solve questions in this interview, I'll get future opportunities and I'll crack those interview. But like approach this like a contest. This is my suggestion.
Yeah, so that will help us like take it as a challenge rather than being afraid of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
If we aren't afraid of contests, right? We were
Yes.
afraid of ICPC and we screwed it, but we aren't afraid of code forces contests or hard coder contests or those.
Yeah.
So being afraid is the worst thing you can do in the interview. So like I was very chill at the time of interview. Like I said, I thought that I have an internship. If nothing happens, I'll continue this internship and get a PPO from this. And if I get selected at Code Nation, then I'll leave this internship and go there. And at the time of Google also, like I was pretty chill that I have an offer from Code Nation. I don't have to perform very well in these interviews.
Mm.
I'll just stick to what I know and
Mm.
give the interviews very calmly.
Yeah, so I
So
think that's a
though,
good suggestion. Even if juniors like they're targeting some really good companies, it is better to
yeah,
have one company as a backup so that you don't have that
yeah,
pressure. Oh, I have to get
yeah,
this.
yeah, and you can also go to a better one after that. Like,
Right. Okay. And do you want to end with any personal experiences like any fun, any incidents during interview or any important lessons?
yeah, so like the most important lesson is like code a lot. Uh, if you are good at coding, if you are not able to crack coordination, you'll able to crack some other interview, and like keep practicing. There are a lot of companies, and like
Mm.
you'll get one company. After that, getting the second company will become easy.
Mm.
Even for me, even for Shashank Bhaiya, like his experience is something similar. He got one company and he got into Swiggy after that.
Yeah.
So because when you have one offer, you will be very calm that like if this interview doesn't go well, I'll have I'll have something as backup.
Yeah. In fact, even the same they can reapply. Like for coordination, I think
Yeah, yeah.
they have
There is a
after
six
six
month.
months. Yeah.
Yeah, they have 6 month cooldown for coordination, and for Google
Mhm.
also they have 6 month cooldown. And if you fail in the online round, there is no cooldown period. You can apply in the next online round.
Mhm.
And if you appear in the interview and then fail, there will be a 6 months cooldown.
Mhm.
So, like, don't be afraid of applying to the online routes of companies because there is no cooldown period if you fail in the online round. And even if you if you pass the online round and fail in the interviews, you can apply after 6 months. Like 6 months of practice will make you better.
Yeah.
Don't
And
get
anyway, I
disheartened.
think coordination will have their again contest on 26 January every year, right? So
Yeah,
ideally in
yeah,
another 6 months. I think today's 25th. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so like
Mm.
they'll have on 26 January, and if you fail that, they'll again have in October the
Mm.
Kodak one. I think they've
Right.
changed the pattern. Like previous to the online contest, there is a 15 minutes
Mm.
MCQ thing, but like
Mm.
at our time it wasn't there.
Mm.
But they have changed the pattern a bit, but like the rest of the things will remain the same after that.
Yeah. So regardless of the result, this will be like a good experience for the juniors, and also by the next time they target, they could get some more backup company after interviewing.
Yeah,
So they'll learn from
yeah,
their own mistakes and experiences by that time.
yeah.
Right.
They'll
So I think we can end the session for this today, and we're looking forward to have you for your intro experience with Google and many other companies that you have cracked.
yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Sastik. Bye.
Yeah, bye.